Welcome back to Breslov, Chodesh Tov. New month, Adar, first of Adar. The first month of Adar, Adar 1, which is the beginning time of Chesed, hopefully, B'ezat Hashem. Something I've observed for the past many years, and thinking about it and understanding where people are coming from. To explain, you see a lot of people are very hesitant and afraid about joining in the Breslov movement, seeing it's a fringe group and a sect, a cult, all types of fears that people have. And when you see where they're coming from, you can clearly understand their fears. Because if you see outside of the Breslov movement what their fears about, you can understand that you possibly, if you were in their shoes also, you can have also those same fears. That's a cult. They're worshiping a rebbe, possibly a dead rabbi, and all the questions people have about Breslov leaving Israel to go to the Ukraine for Rosh Hashanah, all types of things that people have afraid. You can understand where they're coming from, and because you can understand why they think the way they do, and if you were in their shoes and you did not taste or experience the light that you did, which has brought you now presently to the Breslov movement, you possibly would have thought and felt the same way, to be afraid. Because it's normal for people to be afraid of anything new, anything, it's a cult, it's that. People have that attitude, and you yourself also would be like that. The fact that you've tasted a sweetness in Rabbi Nachman's teachings in a most unexpected way, etc. So it is a big merit. It is a big merit. It should not be taken for granted that a person intellectually comes and understands Rabbi Nachman's approach and teachings, because when you want to be a part of it, there's this fear of this fringe cult element. So because of that, the one thing a person can only do is a person who hasn't found himself in, if you want to say, the Breslov movement or any other group, if you want to say, as a person, Rav Nosson writes this, you have to do a lot of davening to come to the truth in life. And it's not convincing and arguments and don't worry, it's only davening. Again, that you have had the merit to pass that line and to feel a part of this group and not to be worried and afraid and broken because of opposition or fear of other people, family members and friends. So it's a big merit, but you have to understand where they're coming from, and the only thing that can help them is to daven, that Hashem opens other people's eyes to see what you see that's brought you closer to these movements. And again, arguing and trying to justify will not help. And anything, it just makes it even harder and worse. So the best thing is just to daven for people, but not to, again, convince people, I've tasted the truth, so I want you also to taste this truth. That doesn't work like that either. Each person has to come on their own. They have always an expression in Breslov. They say like this, that the animals came to Noach. To explain, in the ark, Noach didn't go after to bring the animals into the ark. They came on their own. So too, they say in Breslov, to make recruits, that's not a Breslov approach. Rather, people on their own who feel the light, they feel the connection, they come. What you can do best is to make accessible the teachings. Yes, to have the books available, classes available, yes, but to start shoving down other people, this and that, and this is the truth, and this is the real truth, that has never been a Breslov attitude, never was, never will be. It's rather for people who are seeking and searching. So on one hand, if you've discovered Rabbi Nachman's teachings and feel and are part of the movement, you have to thank Hashem a lot that you managed successfully to pass that wall which other people have a hard time passing. And for those who have a hard time still, and they're afraid of it, it's a fringe element, there's a lot of opposition, so all you can do is really to daven for them, that Hashem opens their eyes and helps each person to come to their real truth.